Today we'll be getting started with something called as a DBT. We'll try to understand what is DBT, why DBT is used, what's the use case of DBT, what's the advantage of DBT over other tools like Snowflake, Databricks, or any other cloud-based tool. What makes DBT much more better than those things? We'll try to understand today. And then we'll try to create a DBT account and use few of the queries to create few of the models, and we'll try to understand how DBT is interacting with other clouds. Okay. And before getting started, I'd like to ask, do you know what's the difference between data warehouse, data lake, and lakehouse? Anyone?
Can you speak, sir?
Sorry?
So data warehouse is like it's a storage facility where the data is stored in structured format, and the data lake is also a storage facility, but the data can be stored in unstructured format like file
Mm-hmm.
format, flat files, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Data lakehouse is like it takes the best properties from data warehouse and data lake, and it is combined called as data lakehouse, where it can store both structured and unstructured data. That is
Yeah,
the high level difference between all the three warehouses, like all the three systems.
yeah, exactly. So we have seen this even from the who are from AWS batch. We know that we have seen so far. We have seen our data warehouse. We have completed as a Snowflake as a data warehouse. We have seen data lake. We have seen S3, AWS S3, where we mainly work with AWS S3, and Lakehouse also we have completed using Databricks. Okay. Now we'll try to understand where our DBT stands on top of this. Okay. The main highlight difference is where data warehouse is mainly used for your analytics and reporting. Only structured data we are going to use. It is optimized for your queries. Latency is very low since all the data is there inside your data warehouse. You can directly query and it's structure format. So you can expect a latency is much lesser. Where mainly data engineers or business analysts or data analysts work with a data warehouse. And the example is your Snowflake, Redshift, then BigQuery, Synapse. These are some of the data warehouse tools which we have seen. Okay, coming to data lake, where we have seen that we can store any type of data inside our data lake. It can be structured, unstructured, semi-structured, any kind of data. Since it's a data lake and it's a very cheap in storage, here it can be expensive for the storage, whereas it's much more optimized for your queries. Whereas here, high latency. Why? Because if you want to process any data from your lakehouse, you have to bring that to some of the tools like Databricks or Snowflake or anything. So you can expect some latency to work on top of your data lake, where a data scientist can work, data analyst or data engineer can work with your data lake. Examples are your S3, data lake, HDFC. These all are examples. Coming to Lakehouse, we have seen that the combination of these both two, that is data warehouse and data lake, that combined combination is what we have in our Lakehouse, where all type of data we can process, and we mainly make use of something called the open table formats. What are different open table formats which you have seen?
Delta tables, iceberg tables.
Delta tables and iceberg tables. We can make use of this open table format tables and work on top of our raw data that is stored in our data lake. Okay. It's also cost efficient since you are storing your data into your lakehouse and you are processing that inside a tool. So storage wise, it's much more cost efficient. Latency is much more lesser than that you compare with a lakehouse, where you can expect some more latency, but best in the latency is that of low latency is your data warehouse, where again we can work here, analyst, data engineer, data scientist, anyone can work. And examples are your Databricks, iceberg tables, delta lake tables, and Snowflake also act as a lakehouse since now once it was started as a data warehouse, now it has evolved with lakehouse architecture also. Okay, the main key difference is this, where if you want to have faster query structured data, we just go with the data warehouse. If you want to have store everything, we go with the data lake, and lakehouse is a combination of both.